federal judge has sentenced 10 drug dealers to prison for their roles in a massive drug trafficking ring across central and southern Indiana.
It seems that dark underworlds only exist in movies, but right in the heartland of America, a notorious illegal organization extended its octopus tentacles, sowing terror for countless families. How could a sinister ringleader and 9 accomplices manipulate such a massive and sophisticated contraband network? And how did security forces deliver a fatal blow, bringing down the entire organization with a record-breaking sentence of over 125 years in prison? Let's uncover the truth behind this historic special operation right now. Please leave a comment sharing your thoughts, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation. The investigation by federal law enforcement forces did not take place in an isolated manner, but was deployed as a coordinated action campaign. The operation took place simultaneously at multiple key locations tied to the personal and professional life of Mr. Alberto Carvalho. According to sources from federal authorities, early Wednesday morning teams of special agents simultaneously closed in on the targets. These locations had been pinpointed and operationally planned in advance to ensure the element of surprise. This well-deserved punishment stemmed from their key and undeniable roles in a highly sophisticated multi-county contraband smuggling organization. This inhumane criminal ring silently distributed toxic chemical substances, including extremely potent synthetic compounds like Type F, Type C, and Type M, over a vast territory. Bustling areas like Indianapolis, Muncie, Terre Haute, and many other surrounding areas in the Southern District of Indiana were all once covered by the dark shadow of this gang, leaving extremely painful consequences for the local communities. To fully understand the importance and magnitude of this victory, we need to take a step back to view it in the context of a national health and security crisis devastating America. The successful dismantling of this criminal network is not simply a glorious victory solely for the Indiana State Security Forces. Moreover, it is an inseparable part of the immense and tireless effort by the United States Drug Enforcement Administration to realize the dream of an America free from dangerous illicit substances. According to the latest and alarming statistics from this agency, in the year 2024 alone, the vicious synthetic substance named Type F ruthlessly caused the departure of nearly 50,000 American citizens. Each number in those statistics is not just inanimate data, but a life that once existed, voids that cannot be filled in families, and the heartbreaking pain of fathers and mothers losing their children. Have you ever wondered how a tiny pill could carry such terrifying destructive power, robbing the futures of so many people in the most radiant prime of their youth? Although this number of losses recorded a significant and encouraging decrease compared to the crisis peak of nearly 73,000 cases in 2023, the overall picture remains extremely bleak. The medical risks associated with illicit substances, especially cases driven by synthetic compounds, stubbornly hold the position of the leading life-threatening cause for adults in America. The victims' ages are concentrated between 18 and 44 years old, stripping away the core workforce and the hope of an entire nation. Through a powerful media campaign titled "A Pill Containing the Seed of Disaster," the authorities have continuously issued urgent warnings about the extreme danger of these illegal networks. They not only trafficked contraband, but also brought recklessness, instability, tragic medical emergencies, and mass poisoning to peaceful communities across America. The story of the gang in Indiana is the clearest testament that contraband traffickers will stop at nothing to profit from the pain of their fellow human beings. From October 2022 to November 2023, an organized underground alliance was gradually formed and operated smoothly and cunningly in the shadows. 7 of the 10 defendants, including names like Richard Moore, Joshua Kendall, Wesley Young, Tanisha Robertson, Tia Wampler, Finn Fox, and Alex Members, colluded closely together. Their common goal was to operate an extremely large-scale illicit substance trafficking organization, creating a massive toxic distribution network that spanned across multiple counties in the state. Heading and pulling the strings of this entire Indianapolis-based illegal distribution network was Joshua Kendall, a 44-year-old man. The detailed investigative file pinpointed this individual as the supreme leader, the one who plotted every move of the ring. To maintain absolute power and unconditional compliance in an underworld full of deceit, Kendall did not hesitate to use ruthless, oppressive tactics, turning fear into a tool to rule his subordinates. He frequently used malicious threats to mentally intimidate, strictly control, and force his henchmen to obediently execute his product distribution directives. Under Kendall's cold-blooded direction, this organization achieved distribution sales numbers that were shocking even to the most seasoned investigators. The ringleader's recklessness turned this network into a disaster sowing machine operating non-stop. In total, this group of subjects must take full responsibility for smuggling a massive volume of contraband into the black market, including at least 108 kilograms of Type M substance, 4 kilograms of Type F substance, and 6 kilograms of Type C substance. In the brutal world of synthetic compounds, particularly Type F, just 2 milligrams are enough to pose a life-threatening danger to a healthy adult. With simple math, those 4 kilograms of Type F are equivalent to millions of dangerous doses, carrying a dark power capable of wiping out the entire population of a major city in the blink of an eye. The profound lesson we can draw from this terrifying truth is that the boundary between safety and danger is sometimes only as thin as a grain of salt. Profits blind smugglers, making them completely cast aside their conscience to rob others of their futures. We need to educate the younger generation to clearly understand that these addictive substances are not a joke, not a try-it-once experience, but a looming disaster over the head of anyone who unintentionally or intentionally steps onto this path. All the sin-filled, disaster-sowing activities of this gang were completely stopped on November 8, 2023. Law enforcement forces, with meticulous preparation and high determination, conducted a lightning-fast and synchronized sweep operation. They simultaneously executed multiple surprise search warrants at the private residences and vehicles of the defendants, giving them no opportunity to disperse the exhibits or destroy the evidence of their crimes. These were all vital locations that they had modified and used as heavily fortified fortresses to store, package, and distribute contraband and hide the massive amounts of dirty money obtained from illegal activities. What the brave police officers and federal agents seized at the scene was an incredibly horrific picture, authentically and nakedly reflecting this black industry where human life is put on the scale to be measured in money. At the scenes of the raids, police confiscated a total of 25,000 Type F pills, nearly 1 kilogram of Type M substance, and hundreds of grams of crystal and regular Type C substance. However, the most terrifying and dangerous thing among the seized evidence was a large amount of Type F substance found to be mixed with xylazine. Xylazine is actually not a common illicit substance, but a specialized sedative only permitted for use in the veterinary field. When this animal chemical is used by humans or stealthily mixed into other contraband by criminals, to reduce cost, it causes horrific, devastating effects on the body. This chemical can slow breathing, decrease heart rate, and pull blood pressure down to levels so low that they directly threaten life. Even more dangerously, the presence of xylazine has the ability to completely neutralize the effects of the miraculous antidotes normally used by medical forces to save the lives of those experiencing medical emergencies due to wrong dosages in emergency cases. He never hesitated to speak out against the harsh immigration policies of the government during various periods, especially his effort to protect students from potential enforcement or deportation actions from immigration management agencies. He resolutely prevented these actions from happening right within the school environment, which is supposed to be an absolutely safe place for children. This steadfast stance helped him receive widespread support from minority communities and those following liberal ideologies. To protect their filthy empire and their illicitly acquired assets, these trafficking subjects went out of their way to equip themselves with a formidable arsenal of illegal self-defense tools. The agency dedicated to protecting the community from dangerous criminals had to coordinate closely to confiscate and forfeit to public funds a large amount of equipment at the scene. The confiscated list included up to 14 lethal devices, along with hundreds of accompanying materials, always in a ready-to-use state. The presence of these highly lethal tools alongside compact, easily concealed devices clearly proves a heartbreaking truth. That is the recklessness, always lurking, always waiting, and ready to explode at any moment within contraband trafficking rings. Illicit substances and illegal weapons are two parallel ghosts together, creating a vortex of destruction to the peace of every street and village. Aside from the dangerous arsenal, authorities also discovered and seized tens of thousands of dollars in cash, at least 5 specialized electronic scales, countless mobile phones used for shady communications, and various toxic chemicals used to dilute the pure products. This meticulous preparation shows the level of professionalism and sophisticated tricks of the gang in their effort to bypass the authorities. However, the net of heaven is vast, though its meshes are wide, nothing escapes. All wrongdoings must eventually be exposed to the light. Parallel to the heavy-handed measures to directly suppress the Tren de Aragua organization, federal law enforcement agencies are also frantically deploying raids on high-tech crimes across all parts of the country. The authorities are determined not to let the ATM manipulation trick continue to spread and harm the economy. For instance, in another legal development, a federal grand jury in the District of Nebraska also demonstrated resolve when returning an indictment to charge 6 other individuals. These people are accused for their roles in a similar massive conspiracy deploying malware to steal millions of dollars. Ultimately, justice was strictly executed in the courtroom. A United States District Court judge was the one who directly presided over this historic trial and handed down extremely appropriate sentences for all 10 defendants. These sentences truly and powerfully reflect the strictness of federal law against reckless organized criminal groups while marking the complete collapse of an organization that once sowed so much misery. Joshua Kendall, in his role as the sinister ringleader of the network, had to receive the heaviest sentence worthy of what he caused. He was sentenced to 33 years in prison without parole, plus 10 years of strictly supervised probation after serving his prison term. This appropriate sentence will almost certainly cost Kendall by making him spend the vast majority of the rest of his life behind the cold iron bars of a federal prison. Wesley Young, another incredibly important link that helped maintain the operation of the illegal ring, was also sentenced to 23 years in prison and 5 years of supervised probation. The remaining accomplices, such as David Bork, Alex Members, Tia Wampler, Brian Connolly, Finn Fox, Terry Pounds, Richard Moore, and Tanisha Robertson all had to receive appropriate prison sentences ranging from 4 years to 14 years, depending on the level of violation and each individual's participation in the organization. In total, these 10 notorious defendants had to receive a record-breaking combined sentence of over 125 years in prison. This collective sentence carries immense significance as it completely eliminates the ability of these disaster sowers to harm society for many decades to come. The severe punishment of the law is a testament to the fact that society will never tolerate those who disregard the safety of others and destroy the peace of the community. The resounding success of this historic case does not belong solely to any single individual or independent organization. On the contrary, it is the most eloquent and brilliant testament to the immense power of deep coordination and cooperation among law enforcement forces at all levels from central to local. This arduous investigation was conducted through the tireless efforts day and night of hundreds of investigators, special agents, and police officers from various agencies. Justice was also resiliently protected in court, thanks to the excellent work, intellect, and dedication of the prosecutors who directly led the prosecution process of this complex case with sharp arguments and undeniable evidence. The highly satisfactory result of this case accurately reflects the noble core values that the judicial system always strives to pursue. Those are maintaining the absolute supremacy of the law, protecting the sacred safety of the country, and working with excellence to solidify the public's unwavering faith in the good. Representatives of the agencies participating in the special operation issued extremely powerful statements sending strong messages not only to the citizens awaiting justice, but also to other underground organizations still hiding in the shadows. The attorney representing the district boldly declared that the dismantling of this illicit substance trafficking organization is a massive victory for law enforcement forces and for all honest, ordinary citizens. He emphasized that the uncompromising pursuit to dismantle illegal activities will never stop. On the side of the Crime Prevention Agency, the leader directly involved in solving the case clarified the unpredictable danger that had just been extinguished in time. The massive scale of this trafficking organization, along with the volume of toxic goods it had released into the market, truly posed a life or death threat to a series of communities. Thanks to close collaboration, they heroically removed large quantities of illicit substances and dangerous equipment from the streets, directly saving thousands of innocent lives from the worst risks. Parallel to using force to sever the supply of illicit substances, directly attacking the financial element and thoroughly stripping the economic benefits of the subjects also played a crucial role determining success or failure. The Financial Crime Investigation Agency sent a chilling warning about the incredibly expensive price of bottomless greed. Those who traffic illegal goods for profit, igniting the addiction epidemic, will ultimately have to pay the price with the most precious freedom of their lives. Incarcerating these disaster sowers is not merely about removing dangerous individuals from society, but is also an action to uproot the toxic supply, thereby making residential communities safer and cleaner. The Financial Investigation Agency issued a firm commitment that they will continue working nonstop, utilizing every resource to identify, disrupt, and permanently shut down all levels of these illegal business operations. Faced with the sophisticated dirty money laundering tricks of underground forces, what modern technologies do you think authorities need to be equipped with to completely sever their financial lifelines? Looked at from another perspective, the chaos and destruction caused by the dangerous tools of this group is also an incredibly painful issue. The representative of the relevant management agency summarized the exceptionally serious nature of the case with a truthful perspective on the devastation. It is truly amazing and proud what the defenders of the law can achieve when they set aside all boundaries, standing side by side in a true partnership for the common goal of protecting the peace for the people. With their arrogant, illegal behaviors, they had to face the overwhelming power of coordinated law enforcement campaigns, from a luxurious life on dirty money to now suffering the bitter consequences in cramped and dark federal prisons. The historically severe sentence not only completely closes a complex special operation, but is also a typical success story igniting hope in the fight against the synthetic illicit substance pandemic, while protecting the lives and peace of countless honest citizens through the seizure of tens of thousands of toxic pills and an arsenal of dangerous equipment. More importantly, the judicial system has established a strong deterrent boundary, affirming that no matter how sophisticated, tightly organized, or reckless an illegal ring is, it will be completely dismantled and rightfully pay for its crimes before the strictness of the law, thanks to the resilience, bravery, and harmonious coordination of the Justice Protection Forces, the most solid steel shield for social order and safety. If you find this content useful and it helps raise community awareness about the hazards in society, please do not hesitate to hit the like button on the video and subscribe to our channel today. Each of your subscriptions will give us more motivation to create quality educational content, spreading cautionary tales to every family and contributing together to build a safe living environment overflowing with love.